First of all, we would like to thank you for participating in the video interview, which is organized by the ITJ magazine and even IPF. So to start with, take us through your company's journey. Like you said, the company was launched in 1970s. Take us through the journey from 1970 to 2020, how it has been.
Yeah, good morning, Karthik. It has been a pleasure to be interviewed by Industrial Products Finder and Indian Textile Journal. And I'm very happy to participate in this interview. And our company, KU Sodalamuthu and Company Private Limited, popularly known as Sodaltech Group, it was launched as a very small proprietorship firm in 1970 by my father, late Mr. KU Sodalamuthu, to manufacture paper cone making machine as an import substitution for making these paper cones in India. In those days, paper cone machines were not available, and it was not made in India. It was to be imported from Germany or UK. So my father, he was a technocrat. He was working in a spinning mill in Tuticorin in 50s, and later on he was deputed to UK by his employer to learn the new technology of paper cone and paper tube making machines. And later on, after his employment in that organization, he settled in Coimbatore, and he felt the need for manufacturing these machines in India itself, as at that time our country was dependent on solely on imports. So he started manufacturing this paper cone making machine in a small way. It was a very small workshop at that time, and it was started as a very small proprietorship firm, and he started manufacturing these machines, and there was a good response from the Indian industry who wanted to start manufacturing paper cones in India. And as per the response, the machines were made, and it was supplied to various parts of the country. And as it is normal for any SME industry, the growth was very gradual. You know that those days there was not enough funding for such startups as we have now in this present scenario. So solely depend upon his technical knowledge, my father was continuing that industry, of course with lot of struggle, which is normal for any SME sector. But due to the technology he invented and started manufacturing these machines, and it was having a very good response, being import substitution. And gradually the company was growing. Then he started manufacturing the paper tube making machines for paper mills and also for the textile industry. And then after 1986 and 87, we started getting some export orders for our machines. And our very first export order was from Mexico for paper cone making machine. And that was in 1988. Of course, that was after the demise of my father in 1983. We three brothers, we continued the legacy left by him. And from 1988, we started getting these export orders also. That was a great encouragement and boost for our company's growth. And gradually we added other type of machines also. In 90s, we ventured upon these pulp molding machines, that is, which are used to recycle waste paper into pulp molded products like egg trays, egg boxes, apple trays, which are 100% recyclable and which are substitute for plastics. So those pulp molding machines also had a very good response from the market. And gradually we ventured upon the export market in a big manner. Over the years now, we have supplied machines to more than 60 countries across the globe. Right from USA, in South and also South American nations, and also West Asia, African continent, and also South Asia and Southeast Asia. And I would also like to add here that our machines are made to order, and at the same time we ensure that the machines are reliable to perform for years together. And due to the consistency in quality which we are maintaining, we are still remaining the market leader, which I would like to humbly add here. And I would also like to add that our company also was recognized with some awards from Engineering Export Promotion Council. We have so far received 22 export performance awards. And
Very
also
good.
our company was awarded with the Jamnalal Bajaj Award for fair business practices. And that was also added feather on our cap. And now we have about 150 employees. We have 2 production units in Coimbatore. And we have overseas sales offices in important countries and also important metro cities in India. So in a nutshell, this is our overview of our company's origin and growth.
Okay. So you were talking about the funding was one of the challenges you faced while starting the company. Which are the other challenges did you overcome during the journey?
Yeah, apart from the funding, our first we had to gain the confidence of the customers and earn the trust of the customers. But of course, that was not a major hurdle because we were very transparent in our approach and we were maintaining certain ethics in our approach. And so that earned us the reputation and trust and goodwill from our customers. Then later on, when we started venturing into export market, and naturally the banks came forward to fund us with packing credit loans. And afterwards, we were very prudent in our fiscal management, and we were not very much dependent upon the financial institutions. We started savings of reserves and internal accruals. And now we are a debt-free company, which we would like to add here. Because now we are getting the down payment from our customers when they order the machines, because these machines are made to order. And we are also having a lean management. That is, we don't stock inventory for months together. We maintain just-in-time inventory and all those modern management practices. And also a prudent financial management, and that is helping us now. So now we are not having any funding crisis as we had in our earlier startup stage.
Okay. So you were talking mostly about the foreign markets, and now the company has been exporting to many foreign countries. In India, which are your stronger markets? Which are your stronger pockets?
All over India. Right from Jammu Kashmir, right from up to down south, we have our installations, and Western India, Eastern India, Northern India, everywhere we have our customers, and we have a very wide base all over the country.
Okay. Like you also spoke about your product offerings for the wide range of industries, like from paper cones to everything. Can you tell us more, give us the USPs of these products and what makes us different from what the competitors are offering?
Yeah, first of all, see, our machines are used to produce these products like paper cones, which are used in yarn spinning, and also these paper tubes for yarn spinning, and also the paper cores for the paper mill reel winding, and also in the flexible packaging industry, and also composite cans for packaging of various food products. And these pulp molded products are 100% recyclable. They are used in poultry industry for egg trays and the fruit industry for apple trays. So these products are mostly made out of paper, and it is environment friendly, which can be easily recyclable. So that is the main USP of these products. So customers who want to venture upon manufacturing these products, they approach us to buy our machines. And as you have asked, as far our machines are concerned, our machines are all constructed out of precision engineering with the consistency in quality, and even after 10 years, the customers can get spare parts from us because we have the customer history.
Yes.
With us. And all designs are standardized. So customers are confident to buy our machines because they can get lifelong after sale service. So that is that makes us stand apart in the crowd when compared with the other competitors.
Right. So you were talking about precision engineering.
Yes.
So modernization and automation is increasing across industry, as you know. So what is the significance of this for KU Sudalumuthu?
Yeah, we also adopt those modern engineering practices, and like deploying CNC machines, computer-aided design, 3D modeling. So that gives an edge to maintain consistency in the components design and the precision which go into our machine. So we adopt those modern manufacturing practices, and we also have strong support of supply chain with vendors with CNC machines. Even we in our factory also we have our own CNC machines, and apart from that we also outsource such components.
Yes.
And make use of the wide availability of such vendors in city like Coimbatore. Yeah, like what we have given you the details about the product USP and also the machinery USP and how we stand apart from the rest of the competition and how we remain as the market leader in this industry.
Okay. So my next question would be like, what are the market prospects for your company's products in India, and how do you plan to position these products?
Yeah, well, as far the market prospects are concerned, you know pretty well this paper cones and these paper tubes are all essential consumables for any textile industry. For example, paper cones are 100% essential for yarn spinning in any textile industry. And as long as spinning industry is there, paper cones, the requirement for paper cones will be there. Similarly, these paper cores are used in paper mills, and paper tubes are used in fabric industry and carpet industry. So all these industries require these products. And similarly in packaging, you have these composite cans and this pulp molded products. So which are all very much essential for all these consumable products. So as long as this industry is growing, so the requirement for these products also will be steadily increasing. So the market prospects are always brighter.
Right, sir. So as you know, Sodaltech is one of the leading manufacturers of paper conversion machinery. So what has contributed to the success?
Yeah, as I said in my earlier interview, one of the major reason for our steady growth and our success is we are very proactive to the customer's need, and we are customer focused, and we listen to the customers' views. We always listen to them, and we get their feedback, and which is helpful to improve our machines and also improve our technology. And moreover, we also educate our customers. Whenever any customer approaches to start a project like this, see, we are not mainly just interested in selling the machines and getting their money and going off. We also give a lot of counseling to them. We educate them about the market and also the pros and cons of this industry. And we also give them guidance about how to position their marketing in their region. And we also explain them the present competition which they may face. So we give a complete overview to them before we go on to the next phase. So that also we earn a goodwill with our customers from due to our approach. And moreover, we are very prompt in supplying the machines, like shortest delivery lead times, and commissioning the machines within the shortest possible time. And we also maintain proper inventory of spares for them for timely supplies whenever they have a need for the spare parts. So the timely after sale service also is one of the reasons for our success and also for the reputation we have earned in the industry.
Right, sir. So percentage wise, how much is your exports compared to the Indian domestic sales?
See, we have about 40 to 45% of our turnover comes from exports.
Okay.
And that is also increasing over the years. And we have a very good share in the domestic market also.
Okay. So the 45%, how do you plan to increase the contribution from overseas business now?
Yeah, by our regular marketing approach, by our strategies in participating in overseas exhibitions, and also regular contact with the prospective customers. And since we have sales offices in important countries, so through our representatives also, we are in close touch with our customers.
Right.
And the customers also visit our factory in Coimbatore to gain complete experience about the performance of our machines and our engineering capabilities. And their visit also gives a good confidence in them to depend upon us.
Can you please let us know more about the after sale service provided by the company?
Yeah, like we have a team of engineers who are ready to attend the customer's need whenever they face any issues, any technical issues in the machine. And nowadays we are using modern communication tools also by using internet to attend their electronic programs in their control panels. And we can do remote servicing also from our office itself. And also some engineers are positioned in certain important metro cities. And so they can go to the nearby installation at a very short period of time. So this also gives a peace of mind to our customers so that the downtime will be reduced.
Right. So how important does R&D play in the business of yours, like research and development?
R&D is a very important role for a company like us, because we cannot be stagnant in our machines. We have to innovate. We have to improve the efficiency of the machines. We have to add value to our customers. So definitely R&D, we regularly do our research and development. And at this juncture, I would like to add that we have our own factory where we produce these paper cones, tubes, composite cans, and edge protectors using our own machines. And that also gives us an opportunity to constantly study the feedback from our customers and innovate and make changes in our design to improve the efficiency. So that is an added advantage to us. As a machinery manufacturer, we have our own product factory also, like a forward integration. So that is an added advantage, and it gives an edge to us vis-a-vis the competition.
Okay. So what are the challenges faced by SMEs like Sodaltech at present? And what are the expectations from the government?
Yeah, this SMEs, you contributes most to the GDP of the country, and SME is the major employment provider.
Right.
The main issue affecting the SMEs are the shortage of working capital, and also the fund flow is affected when SMEs are dependent upon large corporate buyers, and when there is a delay in payment, their cash flow is affected. So these things affect SMEs to a great extent. And moreover, SMEs are there in the smaller segment. They don't have the big bargaining power like what the major units are having. And moreover, SMEs are fragmented everywhere, and there are logistic issues affecting the SMEs. So these things
Yes, sir.
are major challenges for the SME industries. And moreover, for
Yes.
the past 2 to 3 years, we are all aware of the problems faced in the economy, and there was a downslide, especially after the demonetization and also the implementation of the GST. And while the economy was facing major challenges, so it was not an exception for the SME sector also, which was badly hit. And in addition, now unfortunately, after this COVID-19 crisis,
Right, sir. Yes,
it
sir.
is a big additional burden to SMEs, and it will be a real challenge in the period to come in the next few months. All the industries, especially SMEs, will have a very huge challenge to overcome.
Right, sir. So speaking about COVID-19, so my next few questions will be related to that. As you know, it has been more than a month now for the lockdown. How
Yes.
it has impacted your business?
Yeah, it has made a tremendous impact because all our production schedule has gone to a disruption, and our finished machines were not being able to deliver, and it has all become
Right,
a non-sold inventory. And again, work in process is there, that is also affected. And for the more than a month, see our revenue, there's no revenue at all, and it will be a big impact on our financials. And moreover, now once the resumption is there, when we resume work, then naturally all this backlog have to be cleared.
Right, sir.
And at the same time, our customers also should be ready to take deliveries. And at the moment, we are not aware what type of problem they will be having now once the industry is reopened. And definitely there will be a great disruption, and it may take months together to come out of this crisis.
Okay. So, speaking about the crisis due to COVID, how do you intend to tide over the present crisis? How does the company plan to in future? Have you recalibrated your growth plan due to COVID?
Yeah, of course. Now we have to see. We have made certain plans for this financial year, and all those plans will be disrupted now. Definitely, there will be some setback, but we have decided that we should ramp up our production activities and increase our efficiency. And we have already had some discussions, online discussions with our employees, and counseled them how to gear up post-COVID situations. Definitely, there will be huge challenges in the financial side as well as the supply chain side. So we have to plan accordingly and overcome all these crises. And we should deploy a lot of cost-cutting measures also, because now there is an additional compliance cost about implementing these safety measures in all the factories.
Right.
So that is also have to be taken into account. So we are gearing up to the situation with a optimistic outlook, because every industry is facing a huge challenge. So our industry also is not an exception.
Right, sir.
So we have to gear up to meet the challenges and then come out of this crisis as early as possible.
Okay. So while speaking to many other company chairmen and MDs, I came across this shortage of labor has been one of the major challenges they will be facing in months to come. Yes. How is the situation in KU Sudhalamuthu right now?
See, as far as our company is concerned, see, we are a company of 49-year-old existence. So most of our employees are permanent employees, and moreover, we outsource a lot of our requirements to other vendors. So we are having our permanent employees with us. So we don't face any direct labor shortage, but the labor shortage will be felt by our vendors. And we are really concerned whether they will be able to live up to our expectations and maintain the same supply schedules in the months to come. Because many of our vendors were employing migrant workers, especially from northern and eastern India. And you know, all these people have now migrated to their own places. And when the industry reopens, definitely there will be a lot of shortage will be faced, especially in a city like Coimbatore, where it is one of the important bases for migrant workers. So this shortage of labor, though it will not be felt by our own company directly, but we will be having some impact because of the disruptions in the supply chain. Our vendors may find it difficult to complete the production in schedule.
There will be an indirect impact of this.
Yes, of course. We foresee that there will be some disruption because of that. So we have already informed our vendors also to plan accordingly, so that there's no big disruption. At least we can manage as quickly and we can make the corrective measures as quickly as possible.
Right, sir. So, as you said, you have 2 production facilities in Coimbatore. Yeah. Is the factory still working, or like is it completely stopped? Production has completely stopped?
No, it's all completely stopped because we are not permitted to operate because we don't fall under the essential supplies category, like medical supplies or food industry. So the entire factory is completely stopped.
So what are your expectations from the government right now?
See, as everybody is expecting, the government should come out with a very major fiscal stimulus package to the industry. And you know, every industry is bearing the brunt of this crisis. It's a global pandemic. At the same time, certain problems are specific to certain countries. And especially in our country, already industries were facing a lot of decline in their business. And to add fuel to the fire, this crisis has come like a bolt from the blues. It's really unfortunate. So the government should be it should be proactive, and it should immediately, they should announce package to the industry, like deferring the EMI payments, those who have borrowed from the financial institutions, and especially some concession in the interest. See, even in the deferral of EMIs, the cumulative interest is another burden which the industry leaders were talking about. That is not giving a proper relief to the industries. Again, even though the EMI is deferred, I heard that the cumulative interest will be added, and again it will be a burden only for the industry. So these things the government should address. And also, I would also like to add, there will be a lot of disruption from the other countries like China also, where they may, lot of industry leaders are afraid that there will be dumping of goods from countries like China, because now they have geared up their production after coming out of this crisis. So they will be dumping the goods into India. So the government should also think about some protectionist measures to save the domestic industry, at least for about 1 or 2 years. Especially a lot of cheap capital goods are coming into India, and it is almost killing the domestic industry. So the government also should think about some protectionist measures, at least for temporarily for 1 or 2 years, so that it will give some breathing space to the domestic industry to survive. See, now industry has to survive, then only they can walk or they can run. Now survival itself is a question for many industries, especially MSME industries. So government should announce the fiscal package as early as possible, and the banks and financial institutions also should follow the orders of the government in total spirit and save the industry. And otherwise, there will be a lot of units to be shut down. There will be a lot of people who will be really battling for survival. So these things government has to address upon, and also the logistical situation also should be improved. and many industries are requesting that to keep suspending this toll collection in the highways, which is adding to the logistic cost. So these are all the
Right.
things which especially MSME sector expects from the government right now.
Right, sir. So I would like to just end the interview with one final question.
Yeah.
What are your short-term and long-term growth plans?
See, as far as short-term growth is, now we have to sustain the present growth level. See, now we have to clear our backlogs, and we have to immediately at least maintain the current growth level. That is
Yes.
our first challenge now. Long-term growth is now we have to innovate more machines and launch new machines with increased efficiency and higher automation, and also concentrate more on our machines which are used to produce environment-friendly products. Because nowadays there is a huge demand for environment-friendly products. Because now there is a greater awareness to protect the environment. So our long-term plan is to concentrate on such type of machines.